there is something that I'm seeing on podcasts. So obviously seeing there are video versions of the podcast. If I'm just
Right.
listening, I don't even know what's happening, but I'm seeing it. And you got to understand too, when I'm talking about podcasts, I'm talking about guys who have millions of followers. They basically have an internet TV show. Fair?
Yeah.
You know,
Uh-huh.
and again, I don't want to mention names because I'm really about to just call them all douchebags for the people that are doing this. So, but here's what you should not be doing on a podcast ever. The first one is what I'm seeing a lot of lately. And dude, it is the grossest thing to me. For all of you out there that smoke cigars while you do your podcast, I want to point something out to you right now. It is the cringiest, douchiest thing you can do on a video podcast. Stop
Do
doing
you,
it.
do you know who you're calling out with this? Like you are
Oh, I'm
calling out
calling
some
out a bunch of people.
huge
Yeah.
names
Yeah.
for
Stop
doing
fucking
this.
doing it. I don't care if you're doing your podcast via Zoom. I don't care if you're in your man cave. I don't care where you're broadcasting from. Don't do it. It looks bad. You're on video. Put the fucking cigar down. Okay? Also,
For some reason, it seems worse through Zoom than it would if you're like if it's two guys in a room talking.
I
Like
disagree.
I understand a little bit more than that, but if you're like on Zoom and you've got just that small video like in front of you, I don't know if it feels cringier that way.
It's cringe to me regardless. But see, what you just said though, it's like, well, if it's two guys in a room having a conversation, that's what these guys want you to believe. Like, hey, we're gonna bro down. We're gonna have a conversation. Gonna have a few beers. We're gonna talk. So light up the cigar. No, don't do that. It's gross. It's gross. Okay, but also no tobacco use of any kind. I've seen people dipping on podcasts.
Now that's disgusting.
I've seen people with the tobacco pouches in their front lip. What are you doing? Don't do that.
And are you telling me you can't make it through an hour podcast without doing that?
Yeah,
If so,
don't
you have a problem.
don't do that. In fact, no smoking of any kind. I've seen people vape. Don't do that. Don't even get
That's
me
oh
started on
man.
vaping in general,
I
but
I
don't
have
do it on video.
I have actually seen that, and it's pretty, especially because of the noise that vape makes.
Yes. What are we
It's like
doing?
a
I understand that I'm annoying and I like slurp my coffee sometimes, but look, you can drink during a podcast, okay? No smoking, no chewing, no sucking. What are you, a toddler? Do you need to suck on something while you do a podcast? Stop it. I don't even care if it's marijuana. No smoking joints, no smoking marijuana. As you know, I am pro marijuana for all uses, medical, recreational. Do it. I do it, okay? Wouldn't do it on this podcast.
you know what
Would not
though?
light up a joint right now.
You know what though? If podcasters listen to you right now,
Yeah.
then we would never have the memes of Elon Musk smoking weed on Joe Rogan's podcast. That's a major deal.
One of the most cringe moments in human history is that silly guy, I was going to say, is that silly guy smoking on his podcast. Look, I know Rogan's podcast, they're known for smoking weed on it. That's his shtick. That's fine. But don't smoke cigars. Oh. But here's the other thing too, and I guess this is when it started bothering me. I think at first, when I saw people smoking cigars, I was like, oh, that's a vice. They are at their house, whatever. Do what you do. It's your house. You can do what you want. But like staring into the camera and taking a puff off that stogie, you're an asshole. Don't look at me when you suck on that brown dick, okay? Don't do that. I'm sorry, man. It bothers me. I was watching. So I have a.
You talk about cringe. That is maybe the most cringiest thing you've said on this show so far.
But that's what they're doing, and that's how it makes me
okay.
feel. That's how gross it makes me feel. I feel like I had to paint a picture.
Oh man. Okay.
But look, I have a newly discovered show that I kind of started listening to yesterday. It's one of the guys smoking a cigar. So every time he wasn't speaking, picks up the cigar, takes a big drag off the cigar, blows the smoke right into the camera. And this is a sports show too.
Wow.
So like, and look, we know athletes smoke cigars. Whatever. Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time. Cigars are his thing. Also, he looks cringy when he does it. But you're not the great one when you do that. Is he the great one, or is that Wayne Gretzky? Yeah. What is Michael Jordan's? It's Air Jordan. But what is he called?
Are you having an argument inside your head on this podcast?
I'm having an
right now?
aneurysm
What
right
is
now.
happening?
That's how heated this has me.
You are sleep deprived, I think. I think that's what's going on.
I am sleep deprived, that's for sure. But yeah, so I have this newly discovered show, and the dude just every time he's not speaking, he smoke. I'm like, and he wasn't in the room with the other guy. It was via Zoom or whatever they were doing. But just stop doing that. Does this bother you, or is this just me?
I honestly don't watch a whole lot of podcasts visually. I mean, it's not the best look I can imagine, but I don't watch like podcasts on YouTube very often. I just don't have the time to do it. If I listen to it, it's an audio version. So
I guess
don't
I'm
really
on the
see
toilet
it.
more than most people, but that's typically where I'm watching these things. And I am on the toilet more than most people.
But you're not coming at this from the angle of cigars are disgusting, don't do it. You're coming at it just from the angle of this visually looks bad.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell people what to do. And even though I am, don't do it on podcasts. Do what you want, but don't do it on video. It's gross. Okay. Don't stare into the camera, into my eyes, and puff on that stogie. I don't want to see it. It's weird.